Okay, it is now 6:04 and we are out of closed executive session, and we will reconvene the regular meeting of the Board of Education with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Here.
Mr. Herrera.
Here.
Mr. Hemke.
Here.
Mrs. Hout. Here. Mr. Mueller.
Here.
Mr. Piggy.
Here.
And Mrs. Young. Here.
Before we start the regular meeting of the board, as a reminder, all board members are expected to follow our approved meeting norms and board protocol. Are there any items on the agenda any members of the board would like to amend or move? Hearing none, do I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda of the regular meeting of the Board of Education on June 16, 2025 as presented?
So moved. Second.
Okay, Member Peggy made the motion. Member Hemke seconded the motion. Okay. Discussion? None? Roll call, please.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mrs. Hout. Aye. Mrs. Young. Aye. Mr. Herrera.
Aye. All right, we will now have our district celebrations, and I would like to turn this portion of the meeting over to Dr. Shug.
All right, our first point of celebration is our 2025 district retirees. I'm going to take a moment to read the names of those employees from District 100 who will be retiring this school year. From the support staff, we have Catherine Crawford, Jean Berg, Kathleen Scorlaro, I'm sorry, Kathleen, Michael Butts, Gretel Baird, Heather O'Brien, Lori Dvorak, Franklin Anderson, Pamela Schwendow, Shirley Benson, Ellie Hartzell. I'd like to note that many of those employees have 20, 22, 24, 25, 26, and Ellie Hartzell at 28 years of service to the district. That's our support staff. If we could take a minute to thank them for their service. For our certified staff, we have Tana Vittori, Jody Brown, Tammy Lanoy, Julie Flynn, Karen Blomgren, Tammy Sharp, Michael Bradford, Brenda Letzinger, Jody Flynn, Kelly Bielsbach, Timothy Johnson, Jody Archer with 31 years, and Christine Lukow with 34 years of service to the district. Do we have any of those individuals here tonight? We thank them for their service, and we hope that everything they have in their future is exactly as they would like it to be. Next, we would like to recognize our 2025 high school graduates. The Belvedere Community Unit School District 100 awarded 593 students their high school diplomas at graduation ceremonies on Saturday, May 17th. Belvedere High School graduated 270 students. Belvedere North High School graduated 323 students, and 49 graduates earned their diploma by completing their graduation requirements at Everest Satellite High School. Congratulations to all our graduating seniors. We would also like to recognize our 2025 Scholarship Award recipients. Congratulations to the class of 2025 from Belvedere High School and Belvedere North High School, as well as Everest High School this year, who received scholarships totaling over $246,000 toward furthering their education at the annual Scholarship Awards ceremony on May 15th, 2025. We are so grateful to the generous donors, community members we have that help to support those students that may not have been able to go ahead and further their education without that level of support. So thank you very much. This year, May is our teacher appreciation, takes place in May every month. or every year in May. And this year, Catalyst for Educational Change, which is a group that supports educators in our state as well as across the country, had a special opportunity for us to nominate our educators for recognition. And we have 4 of those individuals who were recognized in our district. And I wanted to take a few minutes to recognize those individuals. And I see that I have some of them here this evening. In celebration of the dedication and impact of educators, we are honored to recognize several of our staff who were selected by Catalyst for Educational Change for their outstanding contributions to education. These individuals exemplify the passion, leadership, and commitment that inspire student success and foster positive change in our schools. Please join us as we celebrate these remarkable educators who truly go above and beyond. And I just wanted to show you that for each of these educators, they highlighted them on social media along with some of the information that caused them to be nominated and recognized. So those will be shared with them if they are here this evening. Oh, sorry, Jorge. Angela Doss, 5th grade teacher. Jessica Piskey, high school social worker at Everest High School. Joy Bauman, early childhood principal. And Carla Mayville, former board president. Thank you and congratulations. Don't go far, Angela. Janine's gonna take your picture. Thank you. And the following people have been nominated by their peers for going above and beyond in District 100. When we call your name, if you're here this evening, please come to the front and remain standing for a picture. Kirsten Alberg from BHS. Kirsten Alberg from BHS. Kirsten did a wonderful job organizing all of our activities required through the Stronger Connections Grant. The Stronger Connections Grant allowed our secondary students, staff, and parents to learn more about mental health and steps to take if and when support is needed. The grant also provided students with one-on-one counseling. Kirsten's leadership helped everything run smoothly throughout the year and made a positive impact on supporting our District 100 students' social, emotional, and behavioral needs. Thank you, Kirsten. Michelle Hegelson from BHS. Michelle worked collaboratively with the school social worker and the IEP team for a student needing significant supports at BHS. She assisted with implementing supports, analyzing data, and contributing to the creation of an environment at BHS where the student can experience success. Her support to the IEP team and the student is truly commendable. Thank you, Michelle. Heather Perez. We have such a good representation from BHS tonight. Heather has demonstrated exceptional dedication and collaboration with the IEP team for a student requiring substantial support at BHS. She has also worked diligently with an outside agency to support teachers in creating a supportive environment that fosters the student's success. Her resilience, her unwavering commitment to refining strategies, and exploring new approaches to support the student are truly commendable. Thank you, Heather. Corinne Wesselhoff, Rob Wesselhoff, Brenda Brandman, Kayla Seamers, Michael Rees, and Sarah Garby. This team from BHS and North, the Essential Elements teachers at these two schools have worked collaboratively to create a community-based instructional manual that outlines the process of implementing CBI within our district. Their outstanding teamwork and passion and dedication to their students was evident throughout the development of the manual and reflected in their commitment to the development of a more clearly defined transition framework. Thank you, team. and Dawn Jackson. Dawn is one of our Caledonia parents, and this was submitted by Kelly Cotter, who is the principal out of Caledonia and is in the audience this evening as well. And she shares that she wants to take a moment to express her heartfelt gratitude for the incredible contributions Dawn Jackson has made during her time at Caledonia School. Over the past 6 years, she and her son Lennon have truly embodied the spirit of kindness and generosity. From their memorable walks down the hall, delivering thoughtful teacher appreciation and Christmas gifts, to the countless boxes of food donated for our food drives, their impact has been remarkable. This year, in Lennon's final year, Dawn went above and beyond by donating teacher appreciation gifts for the entire staff, many valued at over $100 each. Additionally, her generous gift of a beautiful mural in the Library Media Center will be a lasting reminder of their contributions. Dawn and Lennon's smiles and kindness will surely be missed by all of us. Thank you for being such an essential part of our school community. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you all for being here tonight. We are very grateful for you. And again, Janine is going to capture you in a photo moment.
Okay.
Thank you. And that concludes our celebrations.
Okay, at this time, I would like to invite any board members who have anything or anyone they would like to highlight or give a shout out to. I just want to say congratulations again to the teachers, the support staff that have retired. Thank you for your service to the district. Certainly, it doesn't go unnoticed. You've left the place, you've left the district in a better place. So thank you for all your years of service. We are appreciative of that. Anyone else? Okay.
Everyone has a great summer that is able to get the summer off. I know
you.
not everyone does, but.
Thank you, Mrs. Hauk. Okay. We will now have our board committee report, starting with the business services on June 3rd. Mrs. Hauk or Mr. Hemke, do you have anything you would like to highlight or share from the business services committee minutes?
Nothing in particular that's not coming up later.
All right, does anybody have any questions for Mrs. Hauk or Mr. Hemke or Mrs. Armstrong? Seeing none, we will move on to educational services on June 4th. Mr. Dieselmile and Mr. Mueller, do you have anything you would like to highlight or share from the educational services committee minutes?
I didn't have nothing. One thing I did want to highlight, Ms. Johnson was talking about the mental health. She was wanting some money to continue. They had grants last year to do some studies and stuff and to hire 40, they had 40 students in a teletherapy and 25 students were in-person counselors, so they wanted to continue that, so they would be asking for some money to continue that. And I would probably agree that would be a good idea to at least try it for another year.
Yeah, I think several of us, I think all the board members probably received some of the emails on that topic from various individuals advocating that we try to find a way to keep that program going, that it was life-changing and very impactful for the students who were able to utilize those services. So it feels like it's for a very, very good, worthy purpose. The other thing I was going to comment on was it was really great to see the energy and passion around the ELA curriculum. This was a problem that we've been trying to solve for some time now is to have more cohesiveness in the ELA program going from the middle schools to the high schools. And we had a committee looking at that, and teachers and administrators quickly coalesced on the recommendation that they came forward with. And they were very excited, very enthused about it. So it was great to see that passion.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Diesermeyer or Mr. Mueller or Dr. Carson for that matter? Okay, seeing none. At this time, members of the public and employees of District 100 may make public comments. As a reminder, any person appearing before the board is expected to address the board only at the appropriate time and follow the directives of the board president to maintain order and decorum. Identify oneself, limit comments to 3 minutes, and conduct oneself with respect and civility towards others, and otherwise apply board policy :30 visitors to and conduct on school property. This evening we have Mr. Kevin Polke. Would you like to come up?
Well, thank you for having me here. And I'll do the best I can to keep it to 3 minutes, but for some of you who might know me, that'll be tough. The reason why I'm here is I'm the owner and president of Four Corners Wellness Center. The program that we were just talking about was we had the opportunity to provide counseling for Belvedere North students, Belvedere High School students, as well as Belvedere South students. And we were averaging 8 to 10 students once a week during that program. But really what I want to highlight is some of the feedback that we got from some of the staff, students, and parents. One of the social workers at Belvedere High School wrote, "Word is spread amongst the students that therapy is more readily available. There's been an increase in students asking for services and a need for a waiting list to have students seen. Counselors are consistently asking if there are openings for additional students to be seen." A student said from Belvedere, "Feel more comfortable talking to you than anyone before." A mom from a student says, "Mom appreciates ongoing communication with counseling staff, some pushback from the student confronting issues he does not necessarily want to work through. Parent appreciates us working through the avoidance and has been able to have follow-up conversations with their son at home." Belvedere South parent said, "We truly appreciate it. I know my son likes working with you and has been making some progress. We are very thankful." A student from South stated he feels counseling has offered a new perspective on things and gives him other things to consider. Feels like counseling has been helpful. Administration said from the South, "Very helpful resource and would welcome our staff back next year. Feels we have a good connection with students and have been seeing some good progress from them." A student from South said, "It has been helpful to have someone to talk with about emotions and problems, feel more focused and engaged with school." And from Belvedere North, 2 students' comments. The first one, student stated that they talked to someone has helped them be more successful, went from failing multiple classes last year to A's and B's this year, reported that regular sessions have helped her feel less anxious and more confident. Nice to have someone to talk to. He has helped with motivation to do schoolwork. And one other counselor says, "I think the Four Corners staff did an excellent job with their students. I've only heard positive feedback from our students. I feel like this is with this being a new program, you provided additional support to our students here at North and also helped the student service team, especially at a time when the student services had a lot of transitions. And we would advocate for them to return to provide those services." For me, these are students that were identified that were most at risk within these schools, and that had barriers to receiving clinical counseling outside of the school for either resources, financial resources, or transportation. That was really the goal that your guys' commitment, the superintendent as well as Megan Johnson committing to this vision of being able to do this. Unfortunately, we weren't able to start till November, so we only had 6 months worth of statistics. I have lots more things to say about that, but, and there was a beautiful letter written by one of the students to one of our counselors. But I think it's important for you guys to hear from the students and staff as well as the parents about the impact of your commitment to these students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Polke. Anyone else that would like to address the board this time? Okay. Next on the agenda are our consent agenda items. Are there any items on the consent agenda any member of the board would like to take out for separate consideration? Hearing none, do I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items number 2 through 22 as presented?
Make the motion.
Okay,
Second.
okay. Member Dieselmeyer made the motion. Member Piggy seconded the motion to approve the consent agenda items 2 through 22 as presented. Any discussion? Okay. At this time, I would like to acknowledge the following donations. $50 Arby's gift card from Arby's, 10 coupons for a free oil change from Ford Hamblock, 9 $10 coupons from Neighborhood Cleaners, and 10 coupons for a free concrete mixer from Culver's for District 100 for Sub Appreciation Week. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Motion passes. First up are revisions to existing Board of Education policies. Are there any policies listed on roll call any members of the board would like to take out for separate consideration? Okay. Here are none. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the revisions to existing Board of Education policies number 1 through 22 as presented?
So moved.
A second.
Second. Okay. Member Hauk made the motion. Member Hemke seconded the motion to approve the revisions of existing Board of Education policies number 1 through 22 as presented. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Do I have a motion and a second to approve all revisions to existing Board of Education policies?
No. You're good.
Yes?
Yep.
Okay. We'll do that over again. Do I have a motion and a second?
It's kind of confusing.
Okay, do I have a motion and a second to approve the adoption of Board of Education Policy 7:255, students who are parents, expectant parents, victims of domestic violence or sexual violence as presented?
So moved.
Second?
Member Hauk made the motion. Member Young seconded the motion to approve the adoption of Board of Education Policy 7:255, students who are parents, expectant parents, victims of domestic violence or sexual violence as presented. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the 2025-2026 administrative contract for 10-month assistant principal at Washington Academy as presented?
So moved.
Okay. Mr. Piggy?
Mr. Piggy.
Okay, do I have a second?
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Okay. Okay. Member Piggy made the motion. Member Diesmeyer seconded the motion to approve the 2025-2026 administrative contract for 10-month assistant principal, Ramon Vivores at Washington Academy as presented. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye.
I believe Mr. Vivores is here with us this evening.
Welcome.
Welcome. Is there anything you wanted to say this evening?
Thank you. I'm very excited to start on the 28th. I have 5.5 weeks to go to get my garage situated, my yard work done and. Thank you to the board and everybody who gave me a chance to become a part of the Beverly School District. Thank you, very excited.
We are very excited to have you here. We feel very fortunate to have someone with your level of experience be joining us. So we're excited to welcome you. I know Washington Academy will be a welcoming and wonderful environment. So thank you so much for being here this evening.
Thank you.
Also want to piggyback on what Dr. Shug had mentioned. Welcome, Mr. Vivotis. Your addition to Washington will be, it will be, I would say, call it a sea change. If you guys, if you don't know, 65% of our Hispanic student, or population in Washington is Hispanic. So this is a big opportunity for us to have somebody that is bilingual and is Hispanic. One, we hire the best people we can in these positions. The bonus is we have somebody that is Hispanic and bilingual. So congratulations. We are very excited to have you. I'm very excited to have you at Washington Academy. So welcome, Mr. Vivotis, to the district.
Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on. Do we have a motion and a second to approve the 2025-2026 administrative contract for a 12-month special education supervisor for elementary and early childhood as presented?
I move.
Second.
Okay, Member Hemke made the motion, Member Hauk seconded the motion to approve the 2025-2026 administrative contract for 12-month special education supervisor Michelle Jacobs for elementary and early childhood as presented. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Hi.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Is Mrs. Jacobs here?
I do not believe Mrs. Jacobs was able to join us this evening. I do not see any evidence of her in the crowd. But we also welcome her to the district, and we know that she was recommended very highly by the team, and we think she's going to do really fantastic work for us as well.
Congratulations, Mrs. Jacobs. We look forward to having you join the team. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the high school social studies curriculum adoption as presented?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, Member Hauk made the motion and Member Young seconded the motion to approve the high school social studies curriculum adoption as presented. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Hi.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the Magic School Agreement as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Member Hauk made the motion and Member Mueller seconded the motion to approve the Magic School Agreement as presented. Discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Hi.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
And Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, do I have a motion and a second to approve the high school ELA curriculum adoption as presented?
I'll make the motion.
You have a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Diesmeyer made the motion, and Mr. Peggy seconded the motion to approve the high school ELA curriculum adoption as presented. Discussion?
I did want to say that I appreciated the emails we received from some of the staff that went through the committee and figured out what curriculum we would be best using. So it helps me as a board member make the best decision I can when I hear from our staff. So I did appreciate those emails, and it sounds like we have the best thing on here moving forward. So.
I think it only makes sense also because we already have it in the lower grade level, so might as well keep it the same all the way through.
Any other discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the new SIS EduPoint for school year 26 as presented?
I so move.
Second.
Okay. Okay, Member Hemke made the motion and Member Hauk seconded the motion to approve the new SIS EduPoint for school year 26 as presented. Any discussion?
We do have Mr. Bell and Mr. Fry as well here in the audience. Anything you wanted to highlight about the new SIS for the board? It's very exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. That was a unanimous decision by the committee to go with EduPoint. It does come at a significant cost savings for what we have for each school, so that's a plus. We're also adding a data warehouse and analytics module in with this SIS as well. So all that is included at a cheaper rate than what we're getting currently. It was about a 4-month process of going through multiple vendors. We brought 3 vendors in. This is the vendor that was the unanimous decision.
Mr. Bell and his team did really an exceptional job of vetting all of those candidates, of really being thorough and thoughtful in the process. And this is going to be a huge change, truly impacting all of our parents, all of our students, all of our staff in the district. We will be taking a year to go through a thoughtful transition into this new SIS, and it will be tremendously impactful. And the addition of a data warehouse is going to make our ability to really track our data internally and impact student achievement and achievement gaps as a part of that much easier to do. So really, really grateful for the team's work on this and looking forward to the transition. If it were up to me, we'd do it even quicker. But as Mr. Bell has repeatedly told me, we need to wait a year. So we will be doing a thoughtful transition to that for implementation in the following school year.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the cafeteria furniture invitation to vet as presented? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the subject.com credit recovery 3-year contract as presented?
I move to approve.
Okay. We have a second?
Second.
Okay. Member Hemke made the motion. Member Piggy seconded the motion to approve the subject.com credit recovery 3-year contract as presented. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the cafeteria furniture invitation to bed as presented?
Moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Member Young made the motion. Member Hauk seconded the motion to approve the cafeteria furniture invitation to bed as presented. Discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do I have a second? I'm sorry. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the kindergarten furniture purchase as presented?
I move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Member Hemke made the motion. Member Hauk seconded the motion to approve the kindergarten furniture purchase as presented. Discussion?
This is the first year of a 3-year rollout for this kindergarten furniture purchase, essentially, where we will be turning over all of the kindergarten classrooms into spaces that are better designed for those kindergartners and for learning based on research and best practice. Mr. Winters, anything you wanted to highlight on that?
No, just a lot of work went into this decision from a committee with Dr. Johnson, and then as our own little committee. A lot of talking with teachers, a lot of talking about what best fits their needs. Great feedback from teachers. I love walking into the classroom, talking to teachers about this stuff, so I'm looking forward to the lifetime warranty on everything, which is gonna be awesome. Don't track anything. Just a fantastic project that really does show how the environment affects how we teach, and more importantly, how we learn.
And very grateful to Mr. Winters for all of his work on this, meeting with multiple vendors, and I think putting forward the very best package here at the end, and Dr. Johnson, who's been working with the kindergarten research team on this as well. So this is the beginning of, I think, a really impactful change in our kindergarten classrooms.
I would add also that I'm impressed that it includes professional development training that goes along with how to best utilize, so that it's consistent across the district, across the elementary schools, and it will be rolled out in 3 years. So I think that's what really sealed the deal for me, is the training.
Excellent.
I really liked how it's laid out with the pictures too, and the classroom I work in, we have a lot of these same things, so I really enjoyed going through it and seeing those pictures attached to it.
Excellent, thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Hi.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, do I have a motion and a second to approve the Toro invitation to bed as presented?
So moved.
We have a second?
I second.
Okay. Member Peggy made the motion. Member Hemke seconded the motion to approve the Toro invitation to bed as presented. Discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Hi.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Sorry.
Aye.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the cell phone electronic devices use research study as presented?
I move.
Second.
Okay. Member Mueller made the motion. Member Dieselmeyer seconded the motion to approve the cell phone electronic devices use research study as presented. Discussion?
I would just highlight that we've already begun meeting with this team, and we are hoping to bring a recommendation forward in July to the board to really be ahead of whatever is going to happen in terms of legislation, and to create really a system across the district in terms of being able to secure those cell phones during the school day in whatever manner it is that the committee determines is most appropriate, so that our students have the instructional time preserved to the very best of their ability, and that each individual teacher is not needing to address cell phone or electronic use in their classrooms. So we have a great team. We're still looking for a board member. If any board member wants to hop on that team, and really hoping to bring a thoughtful proposal forward next month.
Thank you, Dr. Shug. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Hi.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the Stronger Connection Grant as presented?
Make the motion.
Okay.
I second.
You got it. All right. So, Member Dieselmeyer made the motion. Member Young seconded the motion to approve the Stronger Connection Grant as presented. Discussion?
Dr. Johnson indicated she's looking for other sources of funding.
Correct.
You know, we'll plan to make up the difference from whatever she can't
That is
find.
exactly correct.
Yeah.
So we are going to still try to pursue grant funding, but we may fund internally. We think that this is a really high need area, and we appreciate the board's support on this.
Is it offered, it's offered in the schools? The counselors come to the school?
Yes, we have counseling that is offered in the schools, and we also have telehealth support that is offered outside of the school day. And I don't know, Dr. Carson, did you have anything else you want to add to that?
No, that's the case, yeah, and then we have the partnership with Effective School Solutions that will be taking place in the middle school, so that's why this is just for the 2 high schools, because they won't have that service in place.
Any further discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the amendment to the intergovernmental agreement for the for the Boone Winnebago Regional Alternative School as presented?
So moved.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Member Piggy made the motion. Member Hauk seconded the motion to approve the amendment to intergovernmental agreement for the Boone Winnebago Regional Alternative School as presented. Discussion?
I guess, can you explain a little bit? It's just kind of, the summary.
Yes, so essentially, the intergovernmental agreement amendment is to disband the board that oversees Summit, which is the alternative school that we utilize in the case that we need to make an outplacement for a student, typically for behavioral reasons or expulsion reasons. This school is right now overseen by a board that is comprised of superintendents in the counties. This, because of the way that is currently operated, Summit's not able to sort of fluidly make some of the decisions and do some of the things that they need to do. In this amendment, the superintendents will still maintain oversight. There'll still be regular report outs, and we'll still be engaged with the ROE on this, but this won't cause us to have those quarterly board meetings to oversee the level of detail that we would as a board. But again, there's still accountability with the ROE. Our attorney, the board's attorney, has reviewed this. I spoke with him again today regarding financial oversight and making sure that he felt like this was still a decision that he felt was a reasonable one to be making, and he felt like, yes, the ROE was going to be reporting out on any financial matters regarding Summit Academy, and that this IGA would allow Summit to function to the best of their ability and still allow for oversight by the superintendents. Did that respond to your question?
Yeah.
I felt like it was a lot of words, but I'm glad I responded to your question. All right.
How many districts does Summit cover?
It's in Winnebago and Boone counties, so it's all the secondary districts in that area would be served by those schools.
How many superintendents is that?
13?
13.
But I can't swear to that, Brian, so.
Yeah, okay.
And
it's
we don't
fun.
make as much use of that anymore because we have Everest. So we kind of make use of that only for really serious cases
Correct.
that we can't deal with within the district.
Does it have a location? Does it have
It does,
a singular location?
It has a singular location, yes, in Harlem. It's got a singular location where we send our
The old Harlem
kiddos.
Junior High School, I believe.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. And then we all contribute to funding it. each
Well,
of
and
the-
we pay for individual students that attend there as well. So
As
when
well,
we
okay.
send a student there, we send a tuition rate with that student to attend there.
Okay, thanks.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mrs. Hauk.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller,
Aye.
Mrs. Young,
Hi.
Mr. Dieselmeyer,
Aye.
Mr. Hemke,
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye. Motion passes. The following items have been added for discussion or will be coming up for further review and/or possible action in the future. Background information has been provided and the board may ask questions and/or request clarification at this time. Upcoming contracts and renewals and reports.
I don't have anything to highlight there,
Okay.
but, oh, go ahead.
Nothing then? Okay. At this time, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Dr. Shuck for administrative reports.
All right. We are going to start with Lori Miller, who is here tonight to talk to us about our communication plan and audit that we have been working through as a part of our Goal 3 of our strategic plan, which is focused on family and community partnerships. We are very appreciative of Donovan Group and Lori coming and making several visits here to the school district to help assist us in this process. And she's going to highlight some of those pieces for us here this evening.
Yeah, thank you. And Janine's pulling up my reference. Thank you. It's great to have this opportunity to be with you and to also work and serve with you all. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the audit and planning process that we have been working through at the district. And I don't know, Janine, should I pull out my ear for like slide advancement? There you go. So just you're fine. So my name is Dr. Lori Miller, call me Lori. And my background is I have 26 plus years as an educator in the state of Wisconsin, as a school superintendent for a number of years, and now I am a partner for the Donovan Group. The Donovan Group is a K-12 public school national leader for communications and community engagement. And so again, we're just really grateful to have this opportunity to work with you all on this particular strategy. So our why we're taking on this process of doing a communications audit and planning is to align to your goals that you have in your strategic plan. And if you look under goal number 3, family and community partnerships, this seems to be an area that we wanted to focus on with this audit and planning process. So that's a little bit about why we're doing this. And when we embark on this kind of process, the first step that we do is we kind of assess the scene. What's working, what's maybe not working, where there's some opportunities for us to improve with our communications and engagement. So our team will facilitate that audit process, and we do so by going through these 4 different steps. We do what we call a communications inventory, which means we look at everything that's accessible to us as a communication tool that you may use in the district. So we look at your posts on social media, we'll look at your website, we do conduct a website audit. We'll look at what's available in terms of headlines, what you may send out as newsletters, all those different types of communications. We also interview what we call our key communicators. So those would be the individuals in your school system that are responsible for doing a line share communication out from the district, but also are positioned to receive information and communication back. So they're there, that we call that two-way or binary communication. We interviewed 31 individuals, so we had a lot of opportunity to talk to all those key people in your system to see what they think works and doesn't work with communication. We also then conducted a survey, and we had that survey go out to your staff and your community members. We had 302 full submitted responses for that survey. And then from the survey, your communications planning committee, we talked about who might we want to speak to and go a little bit deeper following that survey. So we did a series of focus groups. We did 9 focus groups, which included talking to students, including students at your 5th grade level all the way up to high school. We talked to families. We talked to families who are English is not their first language. And so we wanted to dig a little deeper and understand what kind of challenges they might experience with communications and engagement. So it was really a robust process. We even talked to your business leaders and communication or community partners. So we take all that information, which we call findings, right? And we put that into an audit report. So that's the next slide here. I know that you were provided a copy of the audit report for your board materials. There is a QR code here if you want to pull it up on your phones now. But really just from a high level, what we learned, the common communication strategies that are relied upon here in the district, you can see that list there. Probably nothing too surprising, but I would say if you go down to that bottom box there on the left, some of the best communication strategies that are working for you all right now is that use of Parent Square. It is predominantly the one tool that most of your audiences here in the community are using. It doesn't impact those who don't have students though in the district, and that's something that we've talked about. You can see the other preferences are really email, text messages, and phone calls. People still enjoy that face-to-face as well. So some of the challenges that we discovered is that your families, your students, your staff, community members, they feel like they're a little overwhelmed with the amount of communications in the way that they come. They're coming in different formats or platforms. And so there's an opportunity there to really streamline the way we do communications. And again, Parent Square provides a lot of promise for that. We also think that there's an opportunity there to ensure some consistency around communication coming from your schools. We learned that some schools have more frequency with communication than other schools, and we think it's really important to have some consistency in terms of equitable access to communications and information across all your schools. So that's something we can work on as well. And then providing communication to families in their preferred languages, which is something that the district does. I think there's just more opportunity to do so. When we look at where do we go for opportunities there in that bottom box, you can see that some of our recommendations from our team following this audit is that we wanted to establish some clear guidelines for frequency and quality of communications to help with that consistency across all your schools. And along with that, keeping the websites updated. So you do our audit produced said that your district website, generally speaking, is really easy to navigate. Some of you may disagree, but from a standpoint from us, we see it as pretty easy to navigate. What's problematic is that when you dig into the different building web pages, that's where we start to find a lot of inconsistencies, and I think that's creating some challenges for your families. And so they would report back that the website isn't always the easiest to navigate. We see there's value in expanding your community outreach to those individuals who don't have direct affiliation with the district, and then strengthening those connections with families and the community, which you've already identified in your strategic plan. So the next slide, we take all that information and we worked with your communications committee that you have working on that component of your strategic plan. And we went through those findings to develop what do we want in our communication plan moving forward. And that's really strategic and intentional. So what are those key things that we want everybody to know and understand and feel about the Belvedere School District? Who are our targeted audiences? And often we will identify everybody, but it's important to think about who are those audiences that maybe require different or adjusted communications. An example might be some of those post-secondary educational institutions that are nearby. What do our communications look like with them, as an example? Maybe your senior citizens. What do our communications look like with them? And then what are our goals of those communications and how are we going to deliver on that and measure that? So you do have a copy of our plan that we've put together. Again, kudos to your communications committee who kind of worked through this process and have really, navigated these questions to really develop this plan for you. If we go to the next slide, I'm just going to give you a highlight of the key strategies. And it's probably best to think of them as three buckets. There are really three main strategies or goals that we think could really elevate your work around communications and engagement. So the first one is around expanding and refining what you do as external communications. So that's the first bucket, external communications. So here there's an opportunity to streamline, if we look at the tactics there, streamline what you just send out for communications and enhance the website as a tactic. and support your multilingual and inclusive communications. And this speaks to all of your families that maybe English isn't their first language. Increase the social media consistency. Again, this speaks to some of your schools, some of your programs, some of your clubs. They do an exceptional job. We want to make sure everybody's at that same level. Deepen engagement among families, educators, and community members. We heard a lot that your families want more communication around academics and academic success, and also ways that they can engage with their students. So that collaboration between educators and families is something that we can work on. But here's the big one: increase visibility of District 100 to showcase all the quality and successes that you have. So what we see is a huge mover, if you will, for expanding and refining your external communication is promoting the value add that you all bring to everyone that comes in contact with the district. You do a great job right now of offering opportunities for people to give you feedback, and I think that there's an opportunity there to increase more. There is that always, for all school districts, this desire to have transparency. And so with that, I think we can accomplish that with working on our external communications. And then another piece is, with that promoting and marketing, is developing and launching a new district brand. And so your current brand, that's over here with the District 100 kind of leaning forward to show momentum. That's something that we're working to adjust to take you all into the next couple of generations of future learners here. So that's strategy number one, external. And then strategy number two is internal communications. So these are the communications that exist among yourselves as board members, as well as your staff, even your families and your students. And so one of the things that we heard is that there's a great opportunity here to enhance your staff communications. Your staff has a lot to offer. They want to have their voices heard, and they want to be empowered, right, with their ability to communicate and engage around decision making. And then also the opportunity for professional learning for staff communications. I think if we can coordinate professional learning for the staff, that helps develop capacity so that we have more individuals across the district who can serve as key communicators and do so in a consistent manner. That would give us a lot of benefit moving forward with internal communications as well. And then the last bucket or last strategy is really, how do we sustain all this? I think maybe when you look at the communication plan and you look at all those tactics, you're like, oh my goodness, that's a lot. And so that's really what this bucket is about. And so what we'll do to support you all is we'll create what we call a communications guide. And that guide is it's kind of like a handbook, if you think about it that way, that can be used with all of your key communicators across the district. So again, ensuring consistency. It'll be important for the communications committee to continue to monitor and evaluate the work of this plan. Now we have a guide to follow with the plan, and there's a 12-month roadmap that you see at the end that takes all of these tactics and kind of maps them out. How are we going to do this over the next 12 months? And then continue to ensure the importance of communication with staff. Your community wants to hear from you all, and so how do we support your staff in making sure that our families and our community are getting those communications? So the next steps here is really working to implement the plan, and we'll be doing that work collaboratively with the communications committee. But also we're really in the midst right now of working on a new brand, like we talked about. And we actually have our next meeting tomorrow, and that'll be a key marketing strategy to really promote the district. And we want to be in position to have that brand ready to go for the start of the school year, right? So it's like a new door, new opening, and it's an opportunity to really get some momentum behind that new brand. And then we are on board to support you right now too with developing and launching the family and community engagement plan. So getting really detailed with specific strategies that we can carry out over the next few months to start elevating that engagement. So that is just a really high level of everything that's been going on over the past few months to complete that audit and planning process. I'm happy to answer any questions or go a little deeper on anything that maybe you feel you need more support in.
Thanks for presenting that. I'm curious, how will we measure the success
Great
of
question.
the improvements we made, and how did we baseline where we stand in a measurable way?
Great question. So there's a couple of ways that we'll measure that success. One is really through that roadmap. That's our progress check. Like, we'll be able to see, are we making the progress of developing those communications and rolling those out? That's one measure, right? We can see that. The second measure that I think is important, we have baseline with the audit, right? So we know where our areas are for improvement and where we need to grow, so we can come back a year from now and do another survey. We can even do another full audit if we needed to, but that's where we can track progress. Are we making progress in those areas that we really feel need to see some growth?
And we also have on our strategic plan dashboard some key measures that we
Yes.
measure year to year in terms of our 5 Essentials survey data. We've identified some metrics there about would you recommend the district to others? And do you, as a parent, family member, feel like your voice is being heard? So we monitor those benchmarks year to year as well.
And that's really a good measure, through the University of Illinois. You have that 5 Essentials, and that is a key component, communications and engagement, that they're measuring on an annual basis with you all. So I think that is a great baseline as well, yeah.
As far as the communication guide, what are, I guess, a little deeper dive into that, what kinds of things would we see in there?
Yeah, so for that guide, which is around that sustainability piece, it's like, how do we develop, the best social media posts, for example? What should be included, what should not be included? How do we share posts across the different entities in the district so that we don't have silos? It'll have guidance about how to best sustain your webpage, whether it's for a department or for the different school. It'll have frequency of postings that like everybody will try to hit that same parameter. So it's just step by step of each of our different communication tools to make sure that we're consistent. Newsletter development, all that.
One of the things I liked on here is the external communications and trying to raise awareness to what a great asset the district is to our community.
Yeah.
That's a hard to measure one, and I don't know, I sat in on one of the key, I think it was one of the key communicator sessions, and you said there were only 31 who were able to attend?
So 31 interviews, so those were one-on-one interviews.
Those are one-on-one,
Yeah.
okay.
The focus groups, we had 9 different focus groups that had several people participate in each group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious if you really were able to garner enough feedback to really understand the baseline and what you're measuring against.
Yeah, so I think one of the questions that we spent quite a bit of time on that's related to your question as a planning committee was the survey response from staff about, at what level would they promote or feel comfortable promoting the district. And we were kind of, scratching our head, we were like, that's not the highest. So we want our staff to be out there really promoting the district. And so that led us to going into the focus groups to kind of ask a little bit and go deeper about that. Like, why would you not rate yourself higher in order to promote? And what we learned from that was that the staff didn't know enough about what was going on in all the other areas of the district, that they felt like they were in a place that they could really speak to promoting. So I think that's a really insightful conversation that we had, which is easy to address and we can fix. And I think a measure can be, in terms of promoting and marketing, is seeing the staff feel more comfortable to respond to that, and seeing some increase in numbers with enrollment too. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of a side question, Parent Square, do we utilize multi-language capability in that? So
We do, yes.
okay.
Yeah, it's a
That's
nice
good.
tool because it has that feature to help with the translation.
Yeah, good.
It's not perfect in terms of the
Right.
translation, but we
Uh-huh.
do utilize it, yes.
Okay, good.
I really have appreciated working with Dr. Miller on this. She's done a really fantastic job, and we're really excited for the brand so you're gonna see her again next month.
Oh, yes.
Assuming we get through that branding work, we hope to see her again next month to talk a little bit more about that. And if you have anything else in the meantime, please feel free to share it with me,
Yes.
and we'll get it back to Lori so we can do some follow-up.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hemke, I wanted to go back to your question about Summit. There are 8 board members and 13 districts that refer students to Summit Academy, but 8 board members that are on that Summit Academy board at this time.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Well, I felt like I like to have that number hanging out there, so just wanted to clarify that. All right, we are on to superintendent comments, which I will go through very quickly. We have a really exciting project taking place at North High School. You may remember us talking about this previously. Our agricultural classes have partnered with some of our other classes on this functional landscaping project where they built these boxes.
Raised
Thank you. Raised beds, raised beds. I need all the language in the slide, clearly. The raised beds and so the construction class helped to build those. Our ag classes helped with the mulch, the dirt, the planting. Our foods classes have been engaged with the fruits and the vegetables, the jams, the pies. They've been selling some of these products as well. They're very, very excited about this work. As are we. So it's been really nice. The students really spearheaded this, presented this project, have done a really nice job with this. Always proud of our BHS Best Buddies. Here during the last week of school, they hosted a fundraiser and a block party on the track where they had lunch together, walked the track together, and it's just really a fantastic partnership with our students, serving some of our students with IEPs. It's been a fantastic program. I want to recognize Katie Larrabee for her Teacher of the Week. She was recognized. She's a teacher over at Meehan. One of the parents of one of her students shared, "We have been blessed to have Mrs. Larrabee be our son's teacher this year. My son was diagnosed on the spectrum and at times struggles with focusing or dealing with meltdowns when he's overwhelmed. Mrs. Larrabee has shown throughout the year a willingness to find ways to guide our son in learning and making it fun. It takes a special person to understand and have compassion for any and all students, and Mrs. Larrabee is a prime example of this type of person." We also had our 8th grade promotion ceremonies, really nicely done by the staff and administration at both South Middle School and Central Middle School. Fantastic events. We are so excited that our 8th graders will be moving on up to BHS and North High Schools next year. As you may be aware, and certainly I am very aware, we had our last day of school this past month. And students across District 100 celebrated this in a variety of ways with field days, yearbook signings, field trips, and many, many, many other occasions. We are excited to welcome in summer, and with summer is that next slide, which is summer school. Summer school classes started today with our K-5 students attending classes at Washington Academy and our 6-12 students taking their classes at Belvedere High School. So just as one year ends, another begins, and we are excited to kick that off as well. Any questions on any of that? All right, then I am going to hop into our strategic plan updates. I gotta scroll down here. It's a long agenda. All right. All right. So goal 1, Dr. Carson, do you want to highlight anything around goal 1?
Sure. So as was pointed out before, with your approval of our ELA curriculum, we now have an aligned curriculum all the way across the board. We have new curriculum that'll be in place for next year, and so already professional development has begun for teachers, and so very excited about all that work so that we're aligned to the state's literacy plan. And then also you approved tonight some new resources for our Spanish language arts in the middle school. So a lot of work going on to improve our literacy scores that we're excited about. And then also want to point out, with preschool, we've had a waiting list, and so have had the opportunity to add students who aren't going to be beyond the age of 5 in September to be able to enroll. And then we had some screening events. We had one on June 4th and another one coming up on July 15th for kids. Families who'd like to have their kids be part of our pre-K program, so we're excited. And anticipating that we'll likely have a wait list again because already the bilingual seats are already filled up for next year.
Any questions on goal 1?
What's our capacity for pre-K?
420 students.
Did you say 400?
Yes. We serve them currently at Washington and Caledonia schools. We added an additional 110 seats 2 years ago now, and we've maintained that, but we aren't able to serve all of the students that we would like to be able to serve in our community. We fall relatively significantly short of being able to serve all the students who would be qualified and eligible for our programming.
Due to staffing?
Space, it is really the staffing would follow that space, but right
Space
now
first.
we are at capacity in those 2 sites. It's very difficult to, there might be some room in some of our other schools, but it's very difficult to spread those resources across all of those different schools. So we've really consolidated into both Cal and Washington. But yeah, we are not able to support additional classrooms at this time in early childhood in our current facility structure.
And what ages is it?
3 to 5 that we serve right now. And they qualify under a variety of different circumstances for those ages.
Nice.
It's a fantastic program. We
Wasn't
are very,
aware.
very, very excited. We've been excited to expand it, and we would like to continue that expansion effort. We're bringing in well over $1.4 million in grant funding to support that program, which is all brand new in the last 3 years.
It's a shame anybody's waitlisted.
It is a shame anybody's waitlisted. I agree completely, Mr. Hemke. Any other questions on goal 1? Goal 2. Dr. Carson's also going to touch on that this evening.
In the spirit of professional development, that is part of what happens once school lets out. We've had restorative practices training that took place last week for our secondary teachers. We've had several, done that for several years. And then also a new training that Everest High School introduced us to that Megan helped to make available for more staff is mental health first aid. So it's really how can you be a mental health first responder to help identify students who are exhibiting signs of some mental health concerns. So we were hoping for one cohort of like 30, 35 people. We had over 70 sign up immediately, basically. So excited that we had the opportunity to have that take place. And then before Dr. Shug mentioned our graduates, just want to call out that 13 of those graduates earned an endorsement for their pathway this year, which is a big growth from last year. So we had 2 get their IT endorsement, 2 for EMT, and 9 in education pathway. And so very excited too that you also approved Frank Goldani to serve as the facilitator in that role to help build those. So we're excited that those numbers will grow over time. So there's that update too.
Any questions on goal 2? All right, goal 3 is family and community partnerships. You really just heard the update on family and community partnerships, working on that communication audit and also on the rebrand. So you'll hear a little bit more about that next month as well. And goal 4, Dr. Ady.
And not a lot of updates. I think the last time we did this, we were like a week left in the school year, but we'll continue to work over the summer on building up our sub pool. It's as high now as it's ever been since the move back to taking the subs in-house. So that's really good. Just in regard to recruitment and retention, our overall staff sentiment rate for the end of the school year was 95% yes and mostly yes. When they answer the question, are you happy with the Belvedere School District 100 staff at this time? We also use this as a barometer for when we apply for Great Place to Work. And so we did that last year. Obviously, we were Great Place to Work certified back in December. And so we'll be actually starting the process of communicating with them and preparing to do that survey again so we can be a great place to work 2 years in a row. And then just a couple things there at the bottom. The School Improvement Day is scheduled for August 18th. Schedules will be shared with staff in mid-July, early August. And then our new teacher orientation, which is a 3-day deal, that's also been scheduled for August 11th and 13th. And we always look forward to that too. I have my team, and part of Joanne's team is on site the first day, providing on-site support and answering questions. And so we were talking about August already, but we do have those dates scheduled, and so we'll be ready to go.
Any questions for Dr. Hady? All right, and goal 5 is Ms. Armstrong.
And most of the activity on Goal 5 is really focused on the Nexus Solutions performance contract that they are working on. They have finished their walkthroughs of all the buildings to look at scope and actually compare pricing and things for what those projects are costing in today's dollars based on what they were priced at in 2023. So I've had weekly meetings with them, met twice for 2-hour sessions of going over what was our priority list and where they're at and what their thought is on what should be part of that project and what shouldn't be part of that project. We are meeting now with Dr. Shug on July 9th, no, it's coming up, I can't remember. First week of July, I believe, where we will show her what they've come up with, what we think is the scope of all the work needing to be done. And we will, of course, bring all of those projects and recommendations. Nexus will come and present them to you as well, so you can see where those things are aligning. Not a huge amount of surprises in that some of those costs were very different. In today's, we did do some clarification on some of the costing, so they'll be able to wrap all of those things together based on the needs assessment in 2023 and the projects that we identified. So we're concentrating a lot of work there. Of course, tonight you approved the SIS contract with EduPoint, so that was a huge part of the tech plan going on, and the Comcast update is now we've cut over all the building connections as of July 1st. You'll have those going live. And I just keep plugging away on budget like always.
Questions for Ms. Armstrong?
So, Nexus, if I recall, they're coming in to rationalize our plan, our facilities improvement plan that we developed.
Yeah, the year 1 through 3 plan, where we identified the projects. They're going to be the performance contractor that the board elected to have, or voted on, to have them come in and kind of manage those projects and do economy of scale. What can we do to make the most of our money? But they also went through, because they weren't the engineers and the architects who did the needs assessment that we had in October, they wanted to validate some of the scope and work and see if things that were truly identified as emergent needs are really the emergent needs, and is there something that ties into that? So if you're doing a new roof and you know that you have Perry's chimney, are you utilizing that? Is that something you want to repair, or do you want to take that chimney out because you're going to put in a new mechanical system? That's what they're kind of digging in, and then they will prepare all of the RFPs and bids out for our contractors to get those back, evaluate them with us, and then we will bring those contract awards out back to the board for the approval. So you approved years 1 through 3. We issued the bonds for the health, life, safety projects, and then they will bring those projects in to share with the board is this still meeting what we originally had planned for?
And remind me, year 1 is next year?
We're doing some of those the projects that are not health, life, safety are not huge. Like right now, if you go over to North, the track is torn up and the fencing's coming down on the tennis courts, so they will start grinding that up and removing that tomorrow. But they have laid the blacktop, so some of those projects are already underway. And so when we say years 1 through 3, the prep work and everything has started on this, but we had to get this assessment of where we are and how they're gonna lay out that timeline. So we've got the sample that we shared with the board previously of kind of what their timeline is looking like. So they'll keep, it's hard to gauge where year 1 actually started,
Okay.
but we have already been
We're in it.
working on a lot of those projects. So we kind of identified in that priority list, what are summer 25 projects that we expect to get done. You're not gonna see those big projects other than the track and the tennis court happening this summer. Those were not reliant on the health, life, safety bonds. That was part of the fund transfer that the board approved to take out of fund balance from Fund 10 to capital projects. And so those were already under contract to do those. I think the board approved those in March.
And then last question, was there always a plan to have to contract with somebody to provide the services that Nexus is providing in terms of ensuring efficiency and ensuring, or was that like an addition after?
Once it was approved, we had conversations that managing that within Sean's day-to-day, my day-to-day, that we needed someone who was really an expert in those areas and that could make sure that the contractors are following up and that they're staying on budget and that they're keeping those things accountable. So we brought in 2 companies and the board interviewed them to kind of provide these services for us.
Okay.
So wasn't necessarily my first initial plan, but when we saw the scope of what actually was approved and that there was this timeline, there became a very needed component of that to be able to manage all of that work with fidelity and making sure it's getting done right and the permits and everything that the ROE requires, especially with the health, life, safety bonds, that we were doing it all in regulation and making sure that someone was keeping those contractors on task because some projects can go on and on that should be done in 6 months have lingered on for a year. Nexus builds that all into their services. And if they go over or they do something, they eat that. That is their guarantee that they provide. We wouldn't be getting all these change orders. We wouldn't get those types of things and they're holding that accountable. And they get paid nothing until projects are done and approved.
And basically you and Sean, finance and facilities, are overseeing what they're coming up with and.
Yeah, we will bring it all to the
Approving
board.
and
So
bring it to the
basically, they
board.
just we gave them a list and they threw their balls at the wall and said, this is what we want to do. Actually, this is the darts to the wall, I guess. And then I came back and said, nope, this is not what the board approved. These are the things that were approved. So they've kind of redirected where they realigned where they needed to be. And so then we had another meeting, talked through that. They were more aligned to what we were expecting and the scope. And so now they will present those with Dr. Shug, which we'll bring forward to the board to see what that looks like.
Thanks. Again, me just wanting to get background. So
Nope,
appreciate it.
understandable.
Yeah, safe to say, Mrs. Armstrong, there's not a lot of projects in flight right now, but there will be. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
need for this third party to oversee all that really starts to kick in at that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when that project list was done, it hadn't been architecturally designed. It had not had all of those soft project costs. So like planning the Perry renovations, you've got to have, all of that drawn out, plus get those products ordered. I know I keep throwing this out. Elevators take 2 years to get in. So if we have 3 elevators we're supposed to be ordering, we need to make sure that we've got them architecturally designed and that purchase is approved, but we're not going to see those things or pay for those things probably till year 3 because you've got to kind of get it out in stages and knowing how long the return time is on it.
As I recall too, Steve Larson from Larson and Darby also really recommended, based on the scope of what we're planning to do, that we have this performance contractor as well, so.
Yeah. And they are very limited in their time allowable with
Yeah.
Larson and Darby and doing all their things. So having somebody like Nexus who has the architectural side, the engineering side and things like that, they can make sure those things are staying on progress.
Any other questions from Ms. Armstrong? The other reports that you see there in admin reports, our annual school wellness report, you can take a look at that. And we also have our annual BHS Ag report, which is quite impressive. If you have not taken a look at that, it's definitely worth taking a look at that as well. And that brings me to the end of admin reports. Unless anyone has any questions about any of that.
Do we have a motion and a second to go into closed executive session regarding section 2, heading C, exception sub number 1 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees, purchases or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired, and student disciplinary cases. Do we have a motion? Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Member Hemke made the motion. Member Peggy. Oh.
It was me.
Oh, Member Hauk made the motion. Member Peggy.
Second.
Second of the motion. Go into closed executive session. Roll call, please.
All right, Mrs. Hope.
Aye.
Mr. Piggy.
Aye.
Mrs. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Dieselmeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Hemke.
Aye.
Mr. Mueller.
Aye.
Mr. Herrera.
Aye.
Dave, you gonna stick around?
Want me to?
You do not need to.